Kind of see what I mean.
I'm looking at the man in the mirror, I need a break. Stress weighs on my soul until it starts to ache. Time pass on these past tracks, what a waste, and I'ma let you in for a moment. They said he hold it a rock, told it a block, go your product to my town. Yo, what up, y'all? It's Wednesday night, Spittin' with Spitter. I'm TJ Spitter. We are here. You know how it is, and you know the vibes real fast. Mom and Pop CBD shop. They're sponsoring the show tonight. It's a CBD and wellness shop. You can catch them at 312 Town Center Boulevard in Easton, PA. Go see them tomorrow. Go see them the next day. I hear they're running crazy sales. Tell them Large Mars sent you. They'll give you the real discount. Tune in to 2M1L Media. God, that's a lot. 2M1L Media for all your podcast needs, man. Go to YouTube. I got one more show after this, and then it's going to be YouTube exclusive, right? So go there, and you'll catch all the shows. We got Cypher Knowledge with Chrissy Sunday nights at 8 p.m. We got Around the Turnbuckle Saturdays and Sundays at 6 p.m. We got Home Team Sports 6 p.m. on Tuesdays, man. We got a lot of shows, man. I'm happy to be here. Let me introduce my guest, former gangster/gangster rapper, my man C2SiX. What up, my brother?
What's good, TJ? How you doing, man?
How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I'm just here and I'm getting by.
But before we get into you, we was just talking about DJ Vlad, right? And
Yeah.
now we're gonna finish this conversation. This is gonna be all over the place tonight. This is not gonna be average normal Spittin' with Spitter.
Yeah.
How you feel about Vlad?
Man, that's a difficult question, man, because I enjoy the interviews. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's kind of my guilty pleasure, man. Right? I do enjoy the interviews, man, but that dude's gonna get somebody indicted, man.
I think he already has.
He might. Hey, if he has, it wouldn't surprise me, man.
I think he has gotten quite a few people indicted. Yeah,
that's some crazy stuff, man. And you hear people saying stuff like he's a culture vulture and stuff like that. And I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I can see the argument. For sure. You mean, and so yeah, I mean, admittedly, man, the interviews are interesting and fun to watch, man.
It's your guilty pleasure.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, he had
go ahead.
He had a recent interview with one with Bun B that I watched recently, and one with Be Real from Cypress Hill recently that I watched, and I they were pretty good interviews, man. Those dudes know how to conduct themselves real well in an interview.
Well, see, they're OGs.
Yeah.
They're not going to slip up and get indicted on those silly questioning.
Yeah, for sure.
And listen, I watch Vlad like the next person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We got comments coming in already. That's my brother Alan, my family, my brother. I love you to the max. Major shout outs to you, brother. I heard you got the sponsorship tonight. Congratulations.
What's good, Alan?
Right. But the OGs know how to conduct. I know how to conduct myself in a conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how to conduct yourself in a conversation.
Yeah, especially without snitching on yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Bro, but before I formally introduce you, I want to shout out Cypher Knowledge, Chrissy, for making this happen.
What's up,
She had reached out to me. She had reached out to me months ago and said, I think I got a guest for you. You should hit him up and you should chop it up with him and see where it go. And I'll tell you what, I don't like taking guests on that note because I like to build an organic rapport with people.
Yeah.
But the conversations we have had have been nothing but blessed and organic.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. And so, Chrissy, she's cool people, man, for making that connect too, bro. Like, absolutely. For real. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So C2SiX, where's that name come from?
Man, people ask me that all the time and they're always disappointed with the answer, bro. Because
I'll be another one then.
For it really honestly just stands for my initials, man. The letter C for Carlos. And my last name starts with the letter Z, which is the 26th letter of the alphabet. Okay. So C2SiX, right? And I was and really on the cool when I was trying to come up with a rap name with a stage name, I wanted a name, man, that nobody else was gonna have. If I come up with OG Los or something, to find 10,000 other dudes with the same name,
Yeah.
I really wanted to distinguish myself, man. I was like, I gotta come up with something that nobody else is gonna have. Like KRS-One. There's only one KRS-One. You know what I mean? You know, DMX, you know, who names himself DMX, right?
Right.
People are always like, so, but you know, the one little kind of teasing comment that people give me is like, I mean, your name sounds like a C3PO or something like that. I'm like, hey man, but hey, maybe,
Let's
but
take it.
at least nobody else has my name though. You know what I'm saying?
You know, when I started rapping, I wish somebody would have took me aside and said, you know, brand your name efficiently, because if you type in Doughboy now,
Yeah.
you get all kinds of dudes, and like 7 of them are whack, and I'm at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
And here we
I
are.
got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. When you Google C2SiX, that's all you find is me.
That's all you find.
Yeah, you're gonna find all
That's
my
right.
social media stuff. You're gonna find any of my interviews or music. Unfortunately, you're gonna find some of my old stuff too, man. I'm not proud of some of the old stuff, man. But well, you know, it is what it is, right?
It's growth, right?
Yeah,
It's
for
growth.
sure.
It's a level of maturity. It's a level of God stepping in and working this process.
It's not even so much that for me, man. For me, it's because I felt like I was whack back then. You know?
Oh well,
Yeah.
hell, too. I got a couple projects that never seen the light of day, and I'm glad, because they were trash. They were trash.
Hey, at least we can admit it, though, right?
Absolutely. I wish somebody would have took me aside and said, "That's not it, Chief. These ain't the one."
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
Yep.
And we got my brother James. James, I love you, brother. Much love. Hey, James, tell BG, and he know who I'm talking about, to leave Dame Dollar alone. It's almost like he got a wild fanboy status for Dame Dollar. But we here. Back to C2SiX. Now you're a former gangster rapper.
Yeah. Former
so
gangster rap.
Does that mean you're a former gangster?
Yeah, man. You know, in the
allegedly.
Well, you know, I'll admit, man. You know, I grew up doing a lot of stuff, man. That, you know, in my older age, I'm not proud of, man. You know, I'm not proud of. You know, when you live and you learn, you do stupid stuff. You know, and you know, without going into all the gory details, you know, I survived. You know, some serious street beefs. You know what I'm saying? You know, and stuff that got really, you know, got real close to being, you know, people getting shot or people getting, you know, all kinds of crazy stuff, man. So we were talking a little bit earlier off camera, man.
Right.
A lot of times when people say gangster rapper or gangster rap, they kind of think that, you know, automatically that necessarily means that you were a former member of a gang, right? And really, on the cool, bro, if I'm honest, I was never like an official member of any particular gang. There was a gang that I ran with, and I clicked up with, you know, all the time. We did all the same dirt, and did all the same, you know, crazy, stupid stuff, right? And I never got jumped in. I never got put down. Mostly because by the time, you know, they even thought about jumping me in, right? Because we were already out doing the same things together. We'd already been kind of doing the stuff for several years. So it's like, you know, I felt kind of disrespected when they wanted to jump me in a sense, right? So I was like, what do you mean? Like, shoot, I don't got nothing to prove to you. I've already done everything y'all done and then some, right? And so it kind of got dumb. And it was kind of a pride thing, I think. You know, I know it was a pride thing, right? And so that got dumb. And then I ended up having some beef with these dudes, some of the younger dudes, not the older dudes, but like the some guys that are like maybe 3-4 years younger than me. One of the dudes, you know, got upset over something with a girl that I didn't like, and I don't think he even liked her that much. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know, but it was, you know, something stupid over a girl, and that escalated. And I felt in my mind, I was like, man, if that's loyalty, if that's what you call like loyalty to your set or loyalty to people's down with you, then I don't want no part of it. You know what I mean? So I kind of distanced myself from them, which kind of got ugly too, man, because I got mixed up with some, you know, some dope dealing and stuff like that, with dudes that were from other sets, right? But you know, in my mind, I was like, well, y'all said I ain't part of y'all set, so hey, It wasn't matter to
Here
you.
we are.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Right.
But they were upset that I was working with some other dudes from another set, and then it just got escalated, man, and got bad, man, and I actually ended up moving out to go live with my aunts down in South Texas, just kind of get away from things for a while, let things kind of, blow over.
Simmer down.
Yeah, and then come back, and then when I came back, I tried to kind of go on a little bit of a different path, and that's when I really started getting into rap. When I come back, and I was trying to kind of find a different path to go on, right? That's when I was like, and I didn't start doing rap right then and there. Like I'd been rapping for a while, but that's when I started trying to like really take it serious, so to say, right? Because prior to that, I had really only just done, rapped at house parties or little raves or something like that, or in the cafeteria, beating on the table
around, and you the rapper out the bunch.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So at that point when I came back from Laredo is when I really started trying to take it serious. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was a youngster, man. I was probably 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like 95. Not to put your age out there.
Yeah. Like
but
95, bro. Yeah.
We close.
Yeah. I was 18. I graduated high school in 95, man.
Yeah.
Just barely, but I did. I did graduate. Yeah.
See that?
It took me moving almost 500 miles away, but I did it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So, it was pretty crazy, man. The cool thing though, a lot of the dudes that I grew up with, man, that were banging hard, man. Now they're older age. A lot of them have gone to prison, but they've got out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But they've got, they got their families now, and they got their jobs and their homes. So and they're doing a lot better for themselves. A lot of them are actually going, the route of just giving their lives to God, man, and just going on the straight and narrow. You feel me?
Yeah, and that's how God worked, right?
Yeah.
But we're gonna get into that a little down the line.
Yeah.
Your rap group at that time was Southern Capping Soldiers?
Yes,
SKS.
SKS. Yeah, actually, what's funny is that was actually not my first group. My first group was called Enthroned Riders.
Enthroned Riders. Okay.
Yeah, that was my first group. Just a quick story about that. So I had started working at a beverage company, right?
Okay.
A big national beverage company, right? And I was one of the guys who would show up at the big grocery stores and do all the merchandising and stuff like that, right? Stocking stuff, filling the vending machines. And a lot of times at these stores, man, there'd be like dudes that worked there that were also rappers, man. So we'd find ourselves getting into little battles in the back of the store, or like, on the on one of the aisles of the store, just kind of messing around, having fun. And there was a dude, man. He was working in produce out of Albertsons, man. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's kind of strange in and of itself, right? Dude working produce just walks up to me out of nowhere. He's like, "Hey, man, I heard you spitting the bars over there, man. You sound good." And I was like, all right, thanks, but I appreciate that. He's like, "Man, you gotta meet my boy Mondo, man. He's starting a little record label, man. And hey, I think y'all would hit it off, man." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I hit up this dude Mondo, not thinking really that anything was gonna come out of it. But I was like, all right. So, but then we started up with that little label called Enthroned Riders or Enthroned Records, right? Well, he started the label. I was just part of it, right? But we started recruiting rappers from all over Dallas and Fort Worth, and next thing you know, we probably had a dozen dudes on the roster, man. And we put out a couple of little CDs, man, and really, honestly, we were just popping them out the trunk, man. Just pulling up every little spot we could pull up, slanging CDs out the trunk, and that kind of led to us landing some bookings, man. Throughout the area, throughout our metro area and some of the surrounding areas. And I was like, you know what? This is kind of dope, man. I think I could do this. Like, we're making some good money. Mm-hmm. It's kind of easy. It's coming easy to me, right? I don't know if you remember an old rapper, man, called, what's his name? Clint Black, I think. Clint Black, or man, I can't remember. He had the song that was like, "Shake them haters off, shake them haters off." That one.
It might be before my time.
Okay. Well, he was at the time he had this single that was real big, man, called "Shake Them Haters Off," right?
Right.
He was all over the radio at that time, and that the first concert that we got booked at was doing an opening spot for him.
Word.
Yeah, I think his name was Clint Black, if I'm not mistaken, man. But yeah, it was pretty cool, man. And then that went well for a while, man. And we pushed out a lot of units, man, just out the trunk, man. But it was just too many people involved, and everything was getting spread.
Everybody got their hand in their pocket.
Yeah, and so everybody, everything getting spread too thin. So me and my homeboy Monster, my homeboy Q-Ball, we decided to just kind of form our own group. That's when we formed SKS. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, man. And so we formed SKS, and after that we just started, it just got bigger from there. We were still slanging these CDs out the trunk, but we were able to get some distribution on it as well. You know what I mean? And we worked with another guy named Capone at the time, who
right?
Helped us get out there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And so we started to open up bigger shows, for bigger artists. You know what I mean?
Excuse me.
No, you're good, bro. You're good. Like we did some spots. Like we were opening for like Cypress Hill or Bone Thugs or or Little Flip or Little John and the East Side Boys or people like that, Baby Bash and all these dudes.
That was big back. They were big back then.
Yeah. Big artists, man, back then.
Yeah.
And so it was cool, man. It was cool. And I think over the time that we were with SKS, we probably pushed out about 100. SKS and Enthrone together. I'd say we probably pushed out about, close to 110, 115,000 units over that time. See,
I think now is different because of the streaming era.
Yeah.
But back then, 110, 115,000, you were a rock star.
Well, I don't know about that, but it was good for an independent with with limited distribution. I mean,
right.
A lot of people think, back then, a lot of people thought that if you got distribution, you're automatically in every store. You're automatically that's not how it works, man.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, that just kind of gives you an opportunity to get there. But
right. But you gotta push them units before you get placed into the major stores.
Well, yeah, even then, like the stores, the distributors have their key account managers, so their key account guys have to sell the store on your release when there might be 50 other releases at the same time. And let's say 35 of those are major releases that they get a kickback on, right? So they're not going to push your album over those majors for sure, Right? And then if there's no real demand, they might not even offer your album to that key account that they're working with, right? So you really kind of got to pressure them sometimes into pushing your music out there. You got to kind of give it up sometimes. Well, at least back then, now it's different. But back then, you might have to say, "Okay, I'm willing to swallow my pride and pay out this much money to get a end cap display at a Sam Goody or something."
Yeah.
But otherwise, man, it was difficult to kind of get your music out in front of everybody. And then of course they would take their time to pay you. There's always contracts in place, man, but they know that it's not worth your time to fight them if they're late for 3 months.
Right. It's going to cost you more.
Yeah.
Through that fight than you're going to receive.
Exactly. So yeah. So it was cool.
You and SKS pushed, and you had a track with Lazy Bone.
With Busy Bone.
With Busy Bone.
Busy Bone. Yeah, we had a track with Busy Bone. That was on our second SKS album.
Okay.
The song was called "Ready for Anything," man, and that's a crazy story how that happened too, man. So this is back in the MySpace days.
Oh,
probably 2006, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe even 2005 when we started the conversation, right? But there was a dude that we were cool with, man, for a long time, man, and his name was King Alien, right? And I think I kind of just gave away something, man, but that dude was named King Alien, right? And he was cool with us because we kind of ran with the same people, man. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So he was real cool with us, man. And then just kind of out of the blue one day, he was like, "Hey, man, I don't really tell this to everybody, but I'm Busy Bones, studio engineer." We were like, "For real? He's like, no, I'm like dead serious. Because the dude was out in Columbus, Ohio, right?
Okay.
And we're like, man, okay. And he was like, well, Busy kind of gave me the okay to, find him some guest features, you know what I'm saying? And hey, I'll be straight up with you, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I get a 10% cut out of whatever you pay him. Hey, well, that's real. That's cool. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, he was like, I was like, but problem is, I'm not sure if I believe you. Like, get Busy on the phone or something, right? So yeah, he got Busy on the phone, man. We chopped it up with Busy 2 or 3 times, man. And Busy was real cool, man, real cool. And he was like, look, man, just send me what you got. Get your hook on there, get your verses on there, and tell me where you want me to spit. You know what I'm saying? If there's anything specifically you want me to say, if you want your name drop something or whatever, just let me know. You know what I mean? All right, cool. So we sent it to him, right? And he hit us up, man, like literally the same day we sent it to him. He's like, hey, man, I'm sending y'all an email right now. Whenever y'all open it up, let me know what y'all think, man. He's like, I put a little extra in there for y'all. So I was like, all right, cool. So we opened up the email. So not only did he give us the verse, right? He's like, man, I really wasn't like the hook was cool. I thought it could have been better though. I gave y'all a hook. What? All right. So he gave us a hook and a verse, man.
Dope.
Didn't charge us nothing extra for the hook, man. He was just and he was just like, the only thing I want for my hook is I want y'all to license the song to me. If I ever want to use it on anything, I have the right to use it on anything I want to use it on. Cool. Little did we know, he ended up he was gonna end up using it on 4 different projects, man. His solo projects, yeah. Yeah, so it was on 2. Well, no, I take that back. He used it on 2 different projects that he did.
Right.
But this dude named Mr. Capone from the West Coast, from LA, also licensed it to use on 2 Busy Bone albums that he put out under High Power Records. So yeah, it came out on an album with Busy Bone under High Power Records, and it came out on another album with Busy Bone and Lazy Bone together. I think that's where you got the Lazy Bone from. Yeah. Lazy Bone and Busy Bone were together on the same album, and our song was on that one too. And so it was a trip, man. It was a trip. So we didn't get a lot out of it, man. Pay wise, you know what I mean?
Right.
With Busy, we didn't get anything because we had licensed to him just for the hook. But with the Capone stuff, we got like 1,500 each, and some, I think they gave us 500 copies of each album to slang. So, hey, that's cool. I'm on the album with a legend. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta get it from the muscle, man. Like, gotta get it from the mud.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if, some new artists go real crazy with their work ethic and their grind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And some don't. And I hear it and I see it. And, that's a part of the culture that really gets to me, is like, I know how much hard work I had to put into making one album.
Yeah.
Let alone getting people to listen to it.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, now it's just like you got a cell phone. I'm about to go Instagram live and show everybody that I rap. Next thing you know, it takes off. They viral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, and I'm not hating. I'm not knocking that hustle.
Yeah.
I understand that we have created this monster. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're really on the cool, man. If you think about it, it might even be a little bit more difficult to maintain a buzz nowadays, man. You got to be so consistent and so constantly pushing something in people's faces, man.
We are in, like, musically, I think in everything, basically, we're in like this ADD era to where you can't get enough. Yeah. Like, if I like an artist, like if I like J. Cole or Drake or whoever, they better be putting out a new song every 3 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because that whatever that other song was is old now, and I don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, true that, man. Yeah. And then of course they got to do a lot of shock value stuff on their social media. Yeah. To me, I'm like, hey, I don't know, man. That's just not my cup of tea right there, but it works for them. So
it does. Like, listen, I don't know if, and I don't ever speak about this cat on my podcast, and for a reason. Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Okay.
He was a perfect example of, this is how I can take a gimmick and make it explode.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
And really on the cool, man, he's probably made as much money trolling people as he has with his music, if not
Facts.
more.
Facts.
Yeah, so I can't knock that, man. I mean, hey, get your money, get your paper, right?
So we got a question coming in from James. He said, "How do you feel about the streaming era?"
I mean, I love it, man. I do love it. It's just more challenging for me. I grew up in a different era, man, so it's challenging, man. It's hard to get that excuse me, that organic growth on Spotify and iTunes and Google Music and YouTube and just all the different it's like you gotta dedicate a little time to every one of them. And if you're working by yourself, man, that proves to be a difficult task if you're doing it just by yourself or with a small team. And so if you're able to kind of figure things out and get it working for you, I mean, it's great because less overhead going into it a lot of times. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Record a song, upload it, and just promote the heck out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Whereas in the past, you had to do posters and flyers and physical copies and travel,
make appearances,
and make an appearance, travel, and that stuff time consuming, man. So
absolutely,
this is easier, but at the same time harder because, like you said, man, it's just like you got to be just constantly in people's faces with it, and on several different media platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
The one thing I do like about the streaming era is I can find on one platform everything that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With limiting searching and just put it all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I listen to everything too, bro. Like it's not weird for me to be listening to Metallica and then going from Metallica to Selena. And then from Selena to Tupac,
right?
And Tupac to Garth Brooks, it's not weird for me, man. That's just I listen to a little bit of everything. You feel me?
Right. And I'm gonna at the end of the show, I got some Spittin' with Spitter questions for you in regards to what you're listening to.
Okay, nice.
Fast forwarding. Can we get right into 2007?
All right, yeah. So
unless I'm missing some monumental things in between.
One other thing there was another artist that was featured on our project that we kind of did some work with, man. Mm-hmm. So for the listeners, we worked with Sendog from Cypress Hill on a track, right? Yeah. We had a song.
It's crazy because we was just talking about that before the show, before we went live.
Yeah, and so that was a trip, man, because personally, my favorite all-time group is Cypress Hill, right? Be Real is my personal favorite rapper, right, of all time, right?
Right.
So that was really like, man, like a dream come true, right? And it was a trip, man, because originally Be Real was supposed to actually be in the song too. It was going to be Be Real and Sendog originally. And this is right at the same time where they had come out with that Snoop Dogg had come out with that song Vato.
Right.
And then they had that song that what's it called? That movie Stomp the Yard? Stomp the Yard, I think, right?
Yeah.
And Be Real had the main song on the soundtrack right there.
Yeah.
And there was a few other things going on right at that moment where he was just kind of hot, right? And so this dude, a manager of Be Real had kind of come at us and was like, hey, you gotta pay more than what you're paying, you gotta. It was like, well, we already made an agreement, I've already made an agreement. He's like, well, no, things change, man. Things are, beats hot right now and everything. And on the cool, I wouldn't have minded paying it, man. I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't have minded paying it, but I just didn't have the money they were asking for, And so Sendog was like, man, I'll still do the track with you, bro. And I was like, hey, I'd be honored to have you on the track, bro. Like, you're Cypress Hill, bro. You Sendog, you know what I'm saying? And so so we ended up doing that song with Sendog, man, and then him and his brother Mellow Man Ace. So if anybody remembers Mellow Man Ace, he had this song. It also was big, like the biggest Latin hit. Well, it was the first Latin hit, right? Latin rap hit ever, like in 1990 or 89 or something like that, right? So Mellow Man Ace and Sendog were starting a label at the time called Latin Thug Records. And they were putting out this compilation CD, like under the label, and they wanted to use that song on that it was more of a mixtape than a compilation, right? But it was like they wanted to use that song on the mixtape, so that was cool, man. It was like on a Cypress Hill type mixtape, you know what I'm saying, with all the group, all the people from that whole Soul Assassin stuff and everything. So that was real cool, man. That was real cool. And then what else? I think that was it. I mean, I don't want to get into all like the whole name drop and everything, but like, we did some stuff with some big people, man, and knew some big people and stuff. And then come about 2007, while we're working, kind of like touring with the album, a friend of mine, he was doing these events at the time. They were called Total Pandemonium, and it was like an all ages event. That's what he called them, was all ages. And I didn't know, I have no idea what that means. Right? I just knew, hey, we're gonna show up, we're gonna perform and get paid and go home. You know what I mean?
Right.
And come to find out, all ages means like middle school, high school age kids. Mm-hmm. So like we got there, it's like 1,500 kids there. And at the time I'm like 30, right?
Sound like a whole headache. But go ahead.
Yeah, man. And I don't know what happened, man, or why that night specifically. I guess because it was kids, right? I was just looking at these kids and thinking like, man, these kids are mine. Like, they could be my kids, Right. Some of these kids are like 11, 12 years old, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I think they could be my kids, right? And I'm here, and I don't got nothing better to say than shoot them up and smoke this and drink that, and right, and smash this chick or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, and I'm, in my mind, I'm thinking, if somebody was here, if my kids was here, and they were saying what I'm about to say to my kids, man, we'd fighting.
Have to go.
Yeah, right. And so I just felt super convicted, bro. Like, and of course at the time I didn't know what it was. I know now that it was the Holy Spirit, right? But I got into kind of an argument with the promoter, Smooth Vega, right? My boy Vega, man. He's a cool dude. We actually keep in touch to this day, man. He's a real cool dude. He's got a podcast, man, called Premier Live Experience, I think, something like that. But yeah, he's a cool dude, man. Yeah, I was like, bro, like how do you justify this, man? Like, you should be ashamed of yourself, man. And he was like, man, I'm not the one rapping it, bro. You should be ashamed of yourself. That hit me, bro. And I was like, you know what? You're right, dude. I really should be. And so I just remember that we had like it was a VIP section, kind of like sectioned off from the rest of the bar, rest of the club. It wasn't a big spot, right? But just had like some tables sectioned off, right, with some bottles on and stuff. And I just sat there, man, and I just cried, bro. Like it was like embarrassing, but like I don't know, man. I just sat there and couldn't control myself, man. I was crying, dude, like just feeling like guilty or dirty, man. You know what I'm saying? For the life I was living, things I was saying and stuff, and I said this recently, man, in another interview. So like, I think that actually started before that night, though, man. Because me and my dad, man, my dad and I, we didn't really see eye to eye on a lot of things, right?
Okay.
And we bumped heads and stuff,
Right.
And so my dad was never happy about me doing rap music and doing hip hop, you know what I mean? He hated it, in fact, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I remember one night, maybe 2 weeks prior to that concert, man, we were, man, I forgot why we were on the subject, but we got to talking about the music and stuff. And I just felt like, man, Dad, you can't ever just be happy for me, man. Like, things are going my way. I'm making money. I'm supporting the family and doing this and that. And he was just like, that's, because I told him, I said, I feel like God's just kind of placing everything in place for me, And he was like, that's not from God, That's not from God. He's like, your talent's from God, but all those things that you're doing are not from God. He's like, you being a bad steward of the God-given talent that you have, And I was just like, he's like, that could be coming from somebody else. You feel me?
Right.
And I was like, man, and I couldn't really argue with him, man, because I knew he was
right.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that's what really kind of, I think that's what planted the seed.
Uh-huh.
and ironically, man, the one that hated me doing the rap music was kind of the one that led me to where I'm at right now. Doing the rap, the Christian rap music. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that that night, I just kind of vowed to myself and to God, man, that I was not going to do it anymore. I was going to stop doing that music. I was going to start doing more positive music, Christian music. You know what I mean? And I had some contractual obligations at the time, so I had to kind of finish some stuff. I mean, but after that, man, I called it quits, man, and cold turkey too, man. It was just kind of like I didn't know what I was gonna do, man. I didn't have no income coming in, no nothing.
God provides, though, right? So how did your life change at that point? Where did the switch come from? You know what I mean? Like the switch came from like God manifested himself. You know what I mean? Boom, here's your opportunity.
Yeah.
Right. How did your life change for the better after that moment?
Man, really on the cool. Well, let me say this real quick before I answer that. I do want to say that I don't think it's as big of a leap of faith as it might sound, because I grew up believing in God, man. I think a lot of us do. A lot of us believe in God, even if we're not living out that faith, right?
Sure.
So it wasn't like I wasn't believing and then I'm believing. It's like I believed and now I'm just really going to take it serious. Right. That makes sense, right? And so what I would say, man, is really that's the most positive thing that came out of me. I just started looking at life, man, and looking at everything and trying to live out the faith that I believed in, live out the things that I believed in. You mean? We talked a little earlier about that was off camera, right? About being married and stuff, right?
Yeah. That was off camera.
Yeah. So
we should have just recorded the whole joint.
Yeah, well, just kind of a little backstory.
Right.
So off camera, we were talking about my marriage, right? And even at that time, man, me and my wife got married legally in 1998 because we were trying to beat some immigration law stuff, right? And then 1999 is when we had what we considered our real marriage in the church. Right. And I wasn't necessarily living or practicing my faith at the time, but I had enough reverence to be like, no, if I'm going to get married, I want to be in the church.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so even though it was misguided or almost non-existent, faith or zeal, it was there. You know what I'm saying? It was in the somewhere deep down inside, it was there. And so that's why I was telling people it may be not as big of a jump. And the reason why I say that is because it might not be somebody who's listening right now. It might not be as big of a jump as you think it is to go from what you're doing right now to living out your faith. You know what I'm saying? And that was the biggest thing for me, man, was like going, I just kind of spent hours upon hours just studying and praying and going to church. And I went literally, man, knocking on every door of every church that would anybody who would listen to me, I sit there and talk to them. I had questions, bro. I was talking to priests. I was talking to pastors. I was talking to rabbis. I was talking to, the Black Hebrew Israelites, whoever would sit there and listen to me, I'd talk, bro. And I was trying to figure things out, man. You know what I mean? And so I got real diligent in that, man. Real diligent and real militant in that, man. You know what I mean? And so I think that was the major change for me, was I just kind of changed my focus. Like I always had that diligence, but I'm like, I'm going to focus on this now. You know what I mean? And so at the time, let's say about 2008, right after the, because that concert was like probably December of 2007.
Okay.
So like 2008, beginning 2008, man, I realized real quick, because I was going to start doing Christian rap right away, but I realized real quick, man, I don't know enough about my faith to rap about this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't got, it's like I can write.
You gotta do some real work now.
Yeah, it's like I can write one verse, maybe one song, Then I'd be like, yo, what rhymes with God? Right? It's just like, yeah. So I took probably 2 years off, man, from doing music at the time. At 2008 to 2010, I didn't do any music, didn't release any music, didn't record any music. I don't even think I wrote the music, right? I would just take my time to learn and study, and then when I came back to doing the music, the first song that I released was called "Work in Progress," right? Because I was like, I don't think I'm there yet, but I feel like I'm ready to start putting out the music. You know what I'm saying? So it was called Work in Progress, and it was
I think
featuring.
we all have one of those, but go ahead.
Yeah, it was featuring my homegirl Snow the Product, right? And
Fire, yo, she's fire, bro. She can rap.
yeah, she can rap, bro. She's dope, man.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, we were real cool friends at the time, you know what I'm saying? And she lived right down pretty much, 15 minutes away from me at the time. And like we kicked it real tough at the time, man. So she was kind of considering doing Christian rap at the time. Well, she was married to a guy at the time, dude named Andrew, cool dude, man. And we always would have these like long conversations about religion and about, like God and church and everything. And, we were all kind of like maybe kind of headed down that path, And of course, she's gone on to do different things, you know what I mean? Which is cool, man, But I continued down that route doing Christian rap, man. And yeah. So that was the first song I did as a Christian artist. And then it's been nothing but Christian music since then, man. That Christian rap, And if you want to take it a step further, I get real specific, man, and I really distinguish myself in the Christian rap game by labeling my music Catholic, because I'm Catholic, you know what I'm saying? And so
subgenre.
Yeah. Sometimes we take heat for it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes people show us love for it, just kind of, but it's what I believe. So
that's it, man. And like, listen, like for me, your story's fascinating because we have somewhat of a similar story.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Chrissy the plug was like, maybe you should talk to this guy, right?
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
And I think I often ask people to come back on for a part 2, so we could dive a little deeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before we get out of here, it wouldn't be Spittin' with Spitter if we ain't talk about some things.
Okay.
I need to know what's in your playlist right now.
Playlist. Wow, bro. That could be a long answer right there, man. Because I listen to a lot of everything, man. But if we're talking about strictly hip hop, or we just talking about overall?
We'll do strictly hip hop first.
Okay. Man, I like J. Cole. We talked about J. Cole earlier. I like Kendrick. Kendrick is one of my top dudes, man. I like Pusha T.
Right.
Pusha T.
Push is tough.
Yeah. I like bars, bro. I like bars. So
likewise.
Yeah. So
I respect the bar. Listen.
Yeah, for sure, man. I like, Eminem, bro. I'm still on some Eminem. Who else, man? On the Christian rap side, man, I like Lecrae. I like Andy Mineo. I like man, Brian Trejo's dope, man. Brian Trejo's pretty dope. I'll give him his props, man. It's pretty dope. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I'm probably most listening to. No, let me take that back. I listen a lot to this dude named Rebels to MC, man. That's my homie right there, man, from the Bronx. Yeah,
you're gonna have to link me and send me some of the work so I could peep it.
Yeah, Rebels to MC, man. He's another Catholic rapper dude from the Bronx, man. Dope, man. Dude's nice, man.
Do you agree with the backlash that Lecrae caught from doing a song with Ty Dolla $ign?
No, man. No, I don't.
They tried to slaughter him for that, and Ty came off and did it just do.
Well, I don't really have an issue working with secular artists if I'm not coming out of my lane. Now it'd be different if Lecrae came out of songs like talking about shoot 'em up and smoking and drinking and that'd be a whole different story.
That's a bad look for Lecrae.
Yeah, but if you're going out there and you're staying in your lane or staying in your zone, why not? You know what I mean? We're trying to reach the lost anyway, right?
Absolutely.
It's supposed to be, at least, right?
You would think.
Yeah. So I don't have no issues with that, man. And I've done a couple songs with some secular artists in the past, and taking some heat for it. But I'm like, but I didn't say nothing, objectionable. Neither did they.
People real quick to judge if it doesn't fit into the confines of their thought process.
Yeah. I don't have no issue with it, man. I'm cool with it.
Facts. So I'm gonna throw out a couple names for him. I'm gonna throw out sets of names for you, and you have to pick one. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Biggie or Tupac?
Oh man, Pac, bro, Pac, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you why. It's hard to compare the bodies of work by no fault of his own, right? Obviously, we know it's tragic what happened with Biggie, right? But it's hard to compare his couple of albums to Tupac's body of work, and then just the impact that Pac had on not just the hip hop world, but the world in general, man. You mean? That's why.
Right. Okay. I'm not. 40-year-old TJ can't be mad at that. 20-year-old.
If you're talking purity skill, yeah. If you're talking purity skill, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to beat Biggie. You know what I mean? But yeah. So, yeah.
Jay-Z or Nas?
Nas, bro. Nas to me, Nas. Not to take nothing away from Hov, man, but Nas, bro. It's just he's your favorite MC's favorite MC.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
For real. Yeah, Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt, Blueprint. I like those. Never really got that much into his other albums. You mean?
No.
Yeah, not really.
He got some gems on there, man.
He does, man. But I don't know. They maybe just weren't my cup of tea. I guess I don't know.
I can respect it. Method Man or Redman?
Oh, Meth, bro, man. Oh, I met both those dudes on the same night too, man.
Yeah,
I met both those dudes. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something funny. I've never said this publicly, man.
Go ahead.
I met Redman and Method Man at a concert here. We did here in Dallas, right? And Meth was cool, bro. Cool as a fan, bro. Like, we asked him to hold up our CD with a picture of it and everything, and yeah, cool. Redman like charged me up on like some gang stuff, bro.
Yeah,
like, yeah, bro. Like, and I was like, bro, I'm trying to show love, bro. I'm trying,
That's it.
And he kind of charged me up on some like gang stuff, man. And I was like, man, I'm not looking for that, bro. I'm like, you're one of my favorite rappers, like I ain't trying to beef or nothing, but yeah, it was the same night that I met Meth. They were doing the concert with Snoop and Corrupt and Devin the Dude, and it was a trip, man. But yeah. So that's part of the reason why I said Meth. I think Meth, man, it's just, bro. His work with Wu-Tang, bro. His work as a solo artist, his work with Redman. I mean, just the song alone with him and Mary J. Blige. Just that song alone, it's like
it still ring off right now.
Yeah.
If I need to be in the vibe, I go to that song.
Yeah, exactly, bro. So
we got Brett Brown in the house. Brett Brown runs the CBD shop that sponsors me, Mom and Pop CBD shop. Shout out to you, Brett Brown. Hey, Brett Brown, in the comments, let everybody know what the specials is going to be. I think you said 50% off if you tell them Large Marge sent you. You know what I mean?
Hey,
who's your favorite rap group of all time?
Man,
and you can't say. I was gonna say can't say because I know it's Cypress Hill, but who else?
Yeah. Groups. Man, UGK, bro. UGK. Bun B and Pimp C.
You're a Texas boy.
Yeah.
Bun B is like that though.
Yeah, Pimp
is.
Pimp don't even have to be the best technical rapper.
No.
Just his cadence, his voice, his delivery, it's gonna hit you and you'll be like, oh, like you can't help but just bob your head when Pimp is rapping, just like, oh, okay, nice. You know what I mean? Yeah, I like UGK. You know what? I'm gonna say I have to say Run DMC too, though, man, because Run DMC, they're the ones who really turned me on to hip hop.
Right.
The first rap album I ever heard was Raising Hell by Run DMC. I was in third grade, and I was sold instantly, like sold on hip hop. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, to this day, I still listen to that album. You know what I mean?
The first hip hop tape that I went out and physically purchased with my own money was Wu-Tang Clan Enter the 36 Chambers.
Dope classic album, bro.
And it took about a month of me listening to that before my mom smashed that shit in the backyard.
That's hilarious, man. That's
You know
hilarious.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Now,
who are your top 5 MCs of all time?
All time?
All time.
Personal favorite or objectionably speaking?
We don't do politically correct.
Okay, my personals.
Yes.
My personal favorite. I'm gonna say personal. Pop, Eminem, Nas, Be Real, and man, it's a toss-up. Number 5 is a toss-up between 3 people, man. Between Scarface, DMX, and Andre 3000.
Face Mob.
Yeah, man. Remember,
and DMX is in my list too. And so, man, listen. Yeah. But Brett Brown just hit me. He said 50% off tomorrow only, Christmas Eve, mom and pop CBD and wellness shop. Get over there. Get all your CBD products for Christmas. It's 50% off.
Hey, go get rid of your back pain, right? Go get rid of that back pain. Yeah.
My knees are good. My knees hurt less right now because of this pain relieving cream that I'll be putting on.
Dope.
Yeah. So before we get out of here, we could talk music all night. We're gonna have to have you come back on the new year for a round 2.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to ask me?
Okay, I do got a couple questions for you, man. And this first one's controversial. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
It's controversial, man.
All right.
You gotta, might have to watch your back depending on the answer.
Okay.
Right? Has Drake earned a spot in the top 10 rappers of all time?
Has Drake earned a spot in the top 10 rappers of all time?
Yeah.
We can replace rapper with entertainer, and I'll say yes.
Okay.
But if we're just going with rappers, I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Two reasons. It's proven that he does not necessarily pen all of his own music, so that takes away from me. And he's got the biggest machine pushing him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But in his defense, something's got to be said, man, that the last 15 years of hip hop has basically been a mimicking of Drake's style.
I'm probably gonna get crucified for this, but he really does Michael Jackson type numbers for hip hop. I don't know anybody like, if you're talking hip hop and entertainment in that aspect, and you don't mention Drake, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. Okay. So now this one. Follow up to that Drake question.
Okay.
Have J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar earned a spot in the top 10 rappers of all time?
They need bigger bodies of work.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
All time, bro. All time.
To Pimp a Butterfly and
that's the classic.
And the Damn album.
The Pimp a Butterfly is dope. Damn is dope. I'll take you back a step further. Section 80 is really dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you're going up against guys like Cool G Rap, Rakim, KRS-One, LL Cool J.
True that. Meth.
LL Cool J's got a wild body of work.
Yeah, true that, man. I can respect that. I respect that.
Will they get there eventually? I'm sure they just got to keep putting out they numbers.
Yeah. So now here's my other one. I ask you 2 more. I got 2 more for you. Okay. We talked a little bit earlier, man, about your ethnicity. I didn't know that you were Italian, at least mixed with Italian, right? Italian
and Cherokee Indian.
Yeah. So I was asking you about Italian MCs or Italian people that are in the hip hop game. If you can name some and which ones I should go listen to. Yeah.
And that's Vinny Paz, Jojo Pellegrino, and of course Muggs.
DJ Muggs from Cypress Hill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Last question for you, man.
Go ahead.
Top 3 producers for you
Top three producers for me?
Yeah, hip hop. Yeah. Or let's say this here. Let's rephrase that. You're gonna get three of your all-time favorite producers to work on an album for you.
Mm-hmm.
Which three you going to?
DJ Premier.
Nice.
Timberland. And not because I'm so much of a fan of Timberland, but I think his ear for music is wildly different. Like he's on like a almost genius level.
Yeah, yeah.
And Alchemist.
I was gonna say Alchemist, man.
Alchemist,
yeah. Last question, man. I just thought of it. Well, I didn't just think of it. I forgot to ask you, but I just remembered it. Did you watch the fight a couple weeks ago, man? It was a PA versus the Texas guy here at AT&T Stadium. Danny Garcia versus Errol Spence Jr. Did you watch the fight?
I caught the replay.
Yeah. What do you think about the fight, man?
Errol Spence is different. They're going to be talking about that kid for a long time.
Yeah, for sure, man.
He is, sheesh.
Yeah, because Danny's no chump.
No,
Danny's no chump.
Not at all.
But
they chime in and they say, no, keep going. Don't stop with the questions for me because nobody really asked me questions.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How many more questions should I ask? Was that Brett?
Yeah.
Brett, tell me how many more questions to ask.
Brett, how many questions should he ask? Let's go, Brett. You gotta be fast on the draw, Brett.
Okay. All right. Let's okay. So I'll give you a couple more. We're at 56 minutes. Let's take it to an hour. What do you think? We got 4 more minutes.
We got 3 from my brother Alan.
Okay, 3 more questions. We'll do that then. All right. Are you a foodie? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So give me like something like just phenomenal, bro. Like in where you're at, like this, like unique to where you're from, or unique to Philly, or like even if it's like a Philly cheesesteak or something.
I don't want to say cheesesteaks, man. I really don't.
Oh, I'm talking about like a spot too, like the actual place. I'd probably go there.
Man, there is a Brazilian steakhouse down the street from me called Rio's.
Yeah.
Fire.
Bro, you had me at steakhouse.
It's delicious.
Yeah. Okay.
Delicious.
Okay. So that's question number 1. Got 2 more to go, right? So okay. Would you rather have an artist, right? No, let's see here. You listen to an album, right? Would you rather have an album where the production is fire, and the artist is kind of okay, or a rapper that's spitting fire bars and the production is kind of mediocre?
I think a rapper that can spit fire bars will shed light on a bad beat.
I agree with you, bro. I agree with you, man. I agree with you because
I rapped over some nonsense,
bro. If you think about it,
sound okay.
Some of the Bone Thug beats, some of Eminem's beats, some of Pac's beats weren't exactly bangers.
No,
but when you heard them rapping,
chimed in. He said, "If you want a cheesesteak, you gotta go to Tony Luke's in Philly."
Hey, that's good to know.
Yes.
I went to that one, and the two that were like they're across the street from each other.
Geno's.
That one. Pat. Yeah, I went there one night, man. I wasn't really real crazy about it.
You go to Tony Luke's, you'll be all right.
Nice. So here's the final question for you, man. Final question. I'm gonna make sure it's a good one here. Man, I don't know if I should go there or not, man.
Go ahead, go there. We here.
Did Biden really steal the election, bro?
That's where you went with
it? Oh.
You know what, man? I got
people mad at you tomorrow, bro.
Fact, right? But check out how TJ Spitter learned how to finesse such questions.
All right.
Politicians are shady and corrupt on both sides.
Facts. That's true.
So men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Yeah.
I'm not there to count the ballots.
Yeah.
What I care about, me as a person, is how is the next person treating me? I care about the compassion and empathy for human beings. I'm not worried about people stealing the election.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or voter fraud or what kind of mouth Trump has. Pause. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
He came with the heat rock for the last question.
Well, it had to give some controversy sells, bro. Controversy
Absolutely, but I mean, listen, you might get that shit for somebody else.
I take heat, bro. I take heat from some of my political posts, man, on social media.
I'm sure.
But,
We all do.
Yeah,
we all do.
But I'm gonna say what I gotta say, though, man. Ain't nobody stopping me from saying what I gotta say.
Facts.
Hey,
C2SiX,
man.
my brother.
Thanks for having me, bro. It's been fun, man.
This has been a wonderful conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna have you back on in the new year.
Let's do it.
And really chop it up.
Hey, let's do it, man. I'm ready.
My brother. Thank you for coming on tonight, man. Have a good night, my bro.
You too. God bless and Merry Christmas to you, man.
Bless you. Merry Christmas as well, bro. Happy New Year, man. Be safe.
All right, peace.
Peace, brother.
All right.
You can go ahead and do you have an exit out button there?
There's a leave button right there.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Cool.
I'm gonna wrap these guys up. That was Spittin' with Spitter with C2SiX, man. Check this out. This Sunday, I'm not sure the time yet. We're gonna go live tomorrow. Maybe me and the Big Al Boski, depending on the time. But we're gonna do a year-end review with 2M1L Media, and I got some other special guests, right? If there's somebody you want to see on the show that ain't been on the show yet, let me know. Let me know. I'll do my best to get them on. I got some heavy hitters coming up in the new year, though. Y'all asked for Ed Tarpey, the legend, gonna be on. Next week, next Wednesday, I got the legend DJ Cap C coming on. Man, but listen, we are here. This has been Spittin' with Spitter. I'm your boy, TJ Spitter. I'm just happy to be here, man. It's Wednesday night. It's going to be, like my brother Alan said, the end of the year spectacular. I got Big Bad Matt coming back on. We're going to talk about when this one-on-one going down. And with that, bro, we are out of here. Much love, respect, and peace and blessings to all of you. Have a safe and healthy Merry Christmas and the New Year. We're going to see y'all on Sunday, and we are out of here.
I'm looking at the man in the mirror, I need a break. Stress weighs on my soul until it starts to ache. Time pass on these past tracks, what a waste.